So start wrapping the conversations in the at your tables, and anyone out there in the halls, come on back.
Yeah,
come on back.
I don't think I'm next, but that's fine.
And while we're waiting, it'd be great to hear from a couple of people who
they got to figure that out.
Just have something that has inspired them or touched them or motivated them in a way they're going to take something away. Because in these environments, the beautiful thing about doing the group work is, as we started before, is we're all part of someone's dream, someone's story. And so just by you sharing what you're walking away with, or what you're walking away carrying with you, can help someone else be inspired. So who has a share? What are you taking away? What's on your heart? What did you learn? What has evolved? What has changed for you over between today and yesterday? We're all family? Yes, ma'am. What you online coming up? Looking right at you. Let's go. Come on, Cindy. Give her a hand. Give her a hand. Give her a hand. All right. So tell us, what are you walking away? What's the treasure? What's the one thing?
Shout out to Mr. Patrick Stevens. We're not paid, we're not stagnant, we're not still. We're coming, we're moving, we're trying.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And then before you leave here as well, just make sure you touch somebody. Make the dream, the vision real. Hold yourself accountable by sharing that with someone else. So we're going to have our one of our last powerhouse speakers here today. We have Phoenix. She is an education specialist consultant and founder of the As Told by Phi, dedicated to intentional living and career alignment. Currently, she serves as an education specialist in the New York Foundling, advocating for K-12 youth in underserved communities and foster care. Phoenix created the 4-quarter method, a framework that utilizes seasonal planning to achieve tangible goals. Through As Told by Phi, she empowers youth and young professionals to move beyond survival, building sustainable careers that authentically reflect their potential. Round of applause, please, for Mrs. Phoenix.
Okay. Hey, everyone.
Hey.
Okay. I feel better. I still got everybody? We good? We full? Oh, okay. Thank you all for being here. I'm happy to be here at the tail end of today. I know we've received a lot. I know we have heard a lot. We feel motivated. We feel poured into so many different ways. And it is so easy to feel like, okay, I want to take action somehow. I want to do something, but what, right? I know I feel that way. And I'm here specifically to ensure that you have a plan, a strategy, or just that motivation and that push to take on whatever you want to take on next. Now, like I said before, my name is Phoenix Diana. I'm the founder of As Told by Phi. I coin myself as the Gen Z big sister. I am Gen Z, by the way. Shout out to Gen Z in the house. Woo! Thank you. Okay. I know about myself. And I'm here because the work that I do is catered towards career, life navigation, and goal setting. I think it's so important that we don't just do a vision board and go home. We don't just see our career as a 9-to-5, because ideally our career is not just a 9-to-5. If you're in this room, likely your career is something that you want to build a legacy on, taking your time out on a Saturday to pour into yourself. It is not just what you clock in, clock out of. It's not a W-2. It's not just a 1099. It is who you are, right? And I want to be here to guide anybody who maybe is in a stage of like, there's something that's off, but I don't know where to go with it, right? Right. Now, before I share my testimony really quickly, I want to pose a question to everybody. I know all throughout today, we've been hearing, who are you? Who are you? Who were you? Who do you define yourself as? Who were you when you walked in? Who are you when you walk out? But I want to ask a different question. Where are you? Where were you when you came in? Where will you be when you walk out? And not just home, location, different states. I mean, where are you in your life? Where do you feel like you are in? Where do you feel like you're leaving? Where do you feel like you're walking into? And I take that question very personally. About 1.5 years ago, maybe almost 2 years now, I found myself in a state of, where am I? I did everything I was supposed to do. I had the job I cared about, went to school, go to church, pray, all the above. But something wasn't clicking. Something didn't feel connected, right? And I didn't know what to do about it. I'm somebody, if you know me, I take action very quickly. I feel like I did what I was supposed to do. I love what I do. I've worked with kids my entire life. And suddenly I was at a point in my career, I was like, I'm tired. I'm not tired of working with the kids, but something is just not fulfilled in me. And I need to do something about it. I didn't want to just walk away from what I did for the last 4.5 years, but I needed to do something. And like I said before, it's not just about a career. It's not just about a 9 to 5. It's about more than that, right? Oh, sorry, I don't have to click the clicker. Yes, it is. Let me see together. There we go. There we go. And I'm back. Now, I'm a yapper. If you know me, I yap often. I can't stop talking. If you give me an hour, I promise I would use up every second. So to make it a little bit easier, I want you to scan that QR code from now and follow along. It's going to take you through what we're going to be talking about. That way you don't have to stop and take notes. You could just listen and absorb it. And that way we can stay connected. I'm big on connection. I don't want to just see you guys one time and say, okay, bye. I want to say happy birthday when it's your birthday. I want to know about what's coming up next. And I want to help you get to the next stage of your life, right? So I've coined the term the 4-quarter method. Again, it was in December 2024. Something wasn't clicking. I realized I needed to find a way to plan out where I want to take myself next, where my goals are going, but I needed a strategy. I'm very intentional about what I do. I'm very intentional about how I maneuver. And I didn't want to just think about it and it goes away by December, right? So I found this framework where I take my year, I format it into a yearly theme. So last year is very extra. I'm an extra person. If you can't tell. I coined it, that year was called the flower-covered tree in the garden. Very extra, clear visual, because I needed to see it. I said, okay, I'm going to take my year. I'm going to break up my year into 4 quarters. The year is already in 4 quarters. That's what, January to March, April to June, so on and so forth, right? But I needed a focus. I didn't want to just have a check-off to-do list goal, but I needed something to kind of tell me, okay, how are we going to view this quarter? What is the mantra, the affirmation you're going to tell yourself to get from point A to point B? Because I also realized at this time, something needs to shift in my career. Where I was at was not making me happy. The money was okay, but there was something more that I need. I need to feel more fulfilled. And I took the quarterly theme. I let a quarter go by. I realized, each month is kind of working out for me. I'm realizing some more things. I'm assessing where I'm at. I'm like, okay, I'm getting to my vision. I'm getting to the realization I need to accept sooner. So then I said, okay, let me focus on it from a month-to-month basis. And in a 1.5 years time, I'm on the stage. Okay, so clearly it worked. Okay, thank you. And so that was the original blueprint. After I realized, okay, this career stuff is kind of working out, I need to get more specific. And this is where the 4-quarter method comes in from a career standpoint. Now, like I said, career, again, it's not just your 9 to 5, not just what you do when you check in, check out. Some of us, our 9 to 5 is not really 9 to 5. It's really like a 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. It really doesn't stop. Honestly, if you're an entrepreneur, it's honestly a 24/7 clock. And so in that moment, I said, okay, how did I get from point A to point B? I realized things go on in phases, stages, quarters, whatever you want to call it. There's a place you have to get to from point A to point B. But like I asked you before, what was the question I asked you before? Where are you? So I had to ask myself, what stage am I in? Where am I in whatever stage I've figured out that I'm supposed to be in? And so there are 4 stages, I like to call it. The first stage is awareness, then there's exploration, then there's refinement, and then there's execution. Now, there is no guaranteed time of how fast you can go through it. You could be in awareness by now. You could be in execution by June 1st, if that's really how your life goes. But you need to be aware of where you're starting at first. You don't want to ask yourself, how am I going to get there that fast? You want to ask yourself, where am I at right now? And what does it require of me? Because again, we're here to take action. And that's because a lot of the times when we face a problem where we're like, I'm not where I want to be in my life, maybe I'm not doing what I want to do, I let go of a goal, whatever it is, we get frustrated. How many times have you felt frustrated today alone, realizing, I kind of dropped the ball? Nobody feel frustrated? Okay, I want to be like, y'all when I grow up. Okay, lovely. But for myself, I felt very frustrated. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? How do I find alignment? I realized I was in the assessment phase first. The assessment phase is not necessarily where you're like, oh my gosh, I messed up, I'm totally wrong. But you realize there's a lack of alignment. There's a lack of clarity. There's a lack of something that is keeping me, what I'm saying and what I'm doing is not matching. It's not matching. And your responsibility in that time is not necessarily to beat yourself up, not necessarily to like get up and be like me and quit your job suddenly with nothing lined up, but it's to be honest with yourself. I'm not happy. Wherever I'm at right now is not serving me. Something is not right. And I want you to feel brave enough to tell yourself that. I want you to feel comfortable enough to admit that. You don't have to beat yourself up about it, but you're there. Next is the growth stage. So some of us might not be in the assessment stage yet or anymore. Maybe you're already in the growth stage. The growth stage where you kind of bite the bullet, maybe you do the big thing, maybe you're like me and you do leave the job. You say, you know what? I'm going to just try things out. I left my job June 20th. I was like, I'm about to get on LinkedIn. The resume going to get updated, certificate. I'm going to just do all of the things, whatever feels right. I also came back to my business at that time. I had left As Told by Fee for 3 years. Didn't touch it at all. From January of 2022, no, actually even earlier than that, up until June 2024, June 2025. So yeah, 3 years. I was like, I hadn't touched it, but I had the urge to. I said, I left my job, I feel fine, but this is something I've had since I was a kid. I've had As Told by Fee since I was a teenager. And I said, I'm going to keep it and I'm going to pour into it. And so I updated my headshot for it, updated the website, started posting about it more, started working on the content again, started having conversations about it again. And I said, whatever this does, in the meantime, while I'm waiting for the applications, while I'm waiting for the yes or no's, I will keep pouring into it. And that growth really pushed me to be like, I can do it. I was doing a lot. If you knew me at that time, Phoenix, where are you going? You would have thought I had a 9 to 5 at that point. I would get up at 7 in the morning. I would go to my library. I would go to a cafe and I would work. Whatever work was, I would open up that laptop. I would wake up and pray. I would go on, do my resume, LinkedIn. I'll be networking with people, sending emails. Hey, what's up? Remember that job you offered like 3 years ago? Is that still? And I had no shame about it because I had to get it done. I had to let go of the shame of it. I was exploring. I was like, let me just see it. I was taking roles I didn't even think I could do. I'm like, I could be a CFO. I'm doing that in finance, but why not? Why not, right? Once you're bold enough to get through that, and once you trust that process, you move along to what I like to call the progress stage. And this is where you know what you're doing is working. And I felt this personally. So my personal testimony in that is that in the midst of me not having a job, deciding I'm going to pour back into my business, deciding I'm going to just keep doing it, fake it till I make it if need to be, I had friends being like, oh my God, your LinkedIn posts are so inspirational. Thank you. I have nothing else to do. So I'm going to just go. You know what I mean? But I said, I'm going to keep believing in it because if no one else will, I will. I'll bet on myself, right? I'll bet on myself, might as well. And in the midst of a photo shoot that I paid with the last $4 in my pocket, I paid for a photo shoot to update just my brand overall. And I have the picture somewhere on my Instagram. I'm going to post it on my story tonight to show you. I'm literally I get a call in the middle of the photo shoot. Literally, it was a place where you take your own pictures yourself. It literally looks like this. You have a clicker and you pose it yourself. It was, right? And my phone rang and somebody told me, pick up the phone, pick up the phone. And I picked up the phone in the middle of the interview, in the middle of the photo shoot, and I'm still clicking. And I'm listening. I'm like, hi, yes, this is she. And I'm hearing from another job. I'm like, okay, they probably gonna tell me another 3 more rounds. If I might hear no, I'll live, right? And all of a sudden I hear is, yeah, so the starting date is, oh, okay. And so literally the picture of me, I'm like this. Because I'm like, what do you mean the starting date? Mind you, let me give you a timeline. This was 20 days after I left my job. not even 20 business days, 20 calendar days. I said, okay, something is working with this 4-quarter method. And so this is where I felt the progress stage start to kick in. I said, okay, things are working, cool, great. So now we're at the end of last year. I'm feeling myself, I'm good with my job. Things are pushing ahead. I'm applying the stuff for my business. I'm being more interactive. I'm like, okay, things are making sense. Cool, no problem. But that gets tiring after a while, right? You realize I need to elevate a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with wanting more for yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to feel like, you know what, I can push myself a little bit further, but I need to be consistent. Stage 3 is about consistency. Because if you are ready to take on that consistency, it means you want this to be who you actually are. It wasn't just a goal to check off. It's the life you want to choose to start living and continue living. And that's how we get to what I like to call stage 4. And that is elevation/execution. You realize, okay, I have to create a sustainable way to make this a consistent thing that I do. Discipline, it means a new routine, it means a new ecosystem, it means new habits, but you have to stick to it. This is where you maybe challenge yourself. Maybe suddenly you realize, I love what I do and I want to help other people, which means you're going to be consistent with mentoring somebody for a year straight. Maybe you're doing it for free. Maybe you're volunteering your time. Maybe you're deciding I'm going to invest into my brand in this way, shape, or form for a reason. And you're doing it without a guarantee of what it's going to end with, but you have the trust and the belief that it'll work out, right? Now, I listed off all 4 stages. I'm going to ask people to be honest right now. Who here is in stage 1, the assessment stage? You realize something is off. I'm not too sure about it, but I know I'm not really aligned right now. Okay, couple people. Be real. Lovely. Stage 2. Maybe you're like, okay, I figured that out a while ago. I'm kind of just doing random stuff. I'm trying out whatever. Maybe that's why you came here today. You're like, you know what? I'm going to try to push myself to do something different. And you decide to come to here today. Anybody in stage 2? Stage 2, doing something different? The LinkedIn, the resume, all the above? Right. Stage 3, progress. Something works. Something working that got you here today. Who's in stage 3? I should see more hands. And you're consistent with it. Okay. Now we're pushing towards stage 4. I need to be even more consistent with it. This is what I want to continue doing. I'm here. This is what I want to keep at. This is now my new baseline and my new standard. Who's at stage 4? All the speakers should be at stage 4. Okay, very good, very good. I love that. Now, this sounds nice. You might be like, okay, girl, that's cute and all, but what does this have to do with anything? I realized it took choosing. I chose to believe in myself. I chose to bet on myself. I chose to trust in this process that I was like, I have no idea what it's going to look like. No clue. When I created this in December of 2024, I had no idea I would see results that fast. And I'm a believer. I believe he will redeem time. If you had told me a year and a half ago that, hey, the business you left for 3 years is going to come back and now you're going to see that logo that you made in your college dorm room there, somewhere up there, this thing that you made in your room crying sad is going to get you on a stage. It's going to get you to feel aligned again. Sure. Did I believe it before? No, but do I believe it now? Yes. And so again, this might sound like, okay, you just gave me all the information. What do I do? If you look through the QR code, there's a set of questions. Depending on where you are at in your own assessment, where you're at in your own stage, I want you to reflect on where you're at. What are you asking yourself? What about where you're at makes you feel unaligned? What about what you do makes you want to keep doing it? Think about it. Some of us pick really, really hard goals, jobs, careers. Why would you keep doing it? When I went to work and I would work in one of the schools in the city, and I would go there from 9 o'clock in the morning to almost 9 o'clock at night, and I would chase around all those kids, and someone would be like, why do you do that? I would say, I don't know, but I loved it, and I still do love it, but really, why am I doing that? And I used to say, well, somebody has to do it, but now I say, I have to do it because it's what I'm called to do, and whatever you feel called to do, that's what you have to do. I want you to trust in it, right? Now next, again, I'm about taking action. So afterwards, you're going to see, after you reflect on it, some key things you should be doing. And again, I'm supposed to be talking just about career, but again, career is not just a 9 to 5. It's about legacy. It's about what you want to take your time doing. Time is money. You are investing your time into this for whatever reason. Do you trust it? Do you trust it? Think about whatever you're thinking about right now. Do you trust it? Yes or no? Oh, okay. I was like, I hear that. Right? If you trust it, that means you're willing to bet on it. That means you're willing to put in the work towards it. And so I say all that to say, I hope that you feel motivated and pushed enough to take it on. And I'm a woman of my word, which means I don't want you to do it alone. We talked about community earlier. You cannot do this in silos. Whatever you're pushing towards, it cannot just happen with just you. You could plant the seed, but it's not just planting the seed that helps it grow. There's water involved. The sun is involved. Let me be your water and your sun. Okay? Thank you. At the very end, because I'm a connecting room. I love to network. If it's not obvious now. I love to network. So at the very, very bottom of the QR code I sent you, you'll see a bunch of links. Find me, connect with me, talk to me. Book a calendar, link with me, email me, follow me on Instagram. Tell me something about what I said. If it helped you, I want to help you. I'm doing this for the month of May because this is the 1-year anniversary of the first book I launched while in the midst of my assessment stage. I'm doing several free services for the rest of the month. Resume building, LinkedIn revamps. Because I want to make sure if you are not sure how to get through that next stage, I want to be that first little boost that you have. So please, and not take this lightly, I hope that I'm seeing a bunch of new connections being made after this. But again, I thank you all. And as I say, I hope you find growth and peace here. Thank you.
Thank you. Give it up for Phoenix. So I'm the whole cheering crowd and everything. So I love the energy and I love the youthful perspectives. Thank you for bringing the passion in there. Because a couple of young people came up and they said, Brian, I appreciate what you're doing out here. You're someone who I, model going forward. I say, you as a young person, I model you. I'm 43. So when I see people who are like younger than 30, they're kids to me, But when I hear the fire, the ambition, when I see the drive, that, reminds me. Because sometimes this later stage in life, sometimes we get caught up in the been there, done that, I know that. And there's truth to that. But then sometimes we can lose the magic in what we're here to do. So thank you, Phoenix, for bringing all that. All right. I have the pleasure of bringing one of my favorite people up to the stage right now. We have Shay Brown, who is the CEO, SalesAgency.com, creator of the Evergreen Revenue Model and the architect of the seven-figure sales team system. He helps entrepreneurs generate leads, close deals, and create 6- and 7-figure revenue. Recognized by USA Today News as a top 5-15 entrepreneur to watch. So he is also the host of the CEO Sales Huddle and the Happy Entrepreneur Show, and your dedicated photographer the whole time. So shout out for Shay.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Give me a hand. Give me a hand. Give me a little hand. Give me a hand. I'm going to applaud myself. I'm healed. In all seriousness. So there I was, 2009. I'm sitting there at my laptop, and I'm at the lowest point in my life, by the way. I was filing bankruptcy. My business was upside down, and I was at all-time low. Then all of a sudden, I get this ding that came through, and the ding that came through was a message on Facebook. They said, "Are you the same Shay Brown from Garfield Senior High School that sent me all these emails?" Yeah. She said, "I'm not in business." I said, "Well, then I call." She said, "Yes, I called." Now, this person that I called was someone I had been in love with my whole life back in high school. She was like that cheerleader, the cheerleader I could never get to, but I fantasized about the cheerleader circles I wasn't in. So I was talking to her, and she said, "I'm not in business." I said, "Okay, that's fine." I said, "Why don't we go out for lunch?" She said, "She told me I'm not retired." I wasn't retired. High school, by the way. I said, "Well, what is the end of time to do with lunch? Let's just do lunch."
That's right.
And from that lunch, it's been 17 years later. We're now married, been together. I got her. I told her we were a lot taller when we was down on our bank account. Come on, somebody. That bank account is a little bit taller. Okay, that's enough. I got to get serious because we got to talk about the next step. And in that moment, I had to make a decision. Right? There was a decision that we made. Do I go for it? Or do I be that Shay Brown back in high school that just fantasize? I was at all the games cheering. I tried out for the basketball team, got cut. Tried out for the rest of the team, sucked. Tried to do running, didn't work. So I became the water boy. Don't judge me. I just wanted to be in the room. But you have to make a decision right now. Because the lights are going to go out. The music will stop playing. You're going to walk through that door. And you got to make a decision. What's next? Go ahead and jot down in your notes. What's next for you? What's the one thing you're going to do? Is you're going to make a decision. I'm not going to go back and be that person that I was before I showed up. Go ahead and jot it down. Maybe you're going to go to the gym. That's a good first start. Maybe you're going to spend less than you make. That's another good first start. Maybe you're going to write the book. Maybe you're going to forgive the person that's been bothering you for years and years and years. You're going to let it go. Make a decision. Now, I have two choices that I think everyone should make. Just two choices. Go ahead and jot these two choices down because we all can make it, and it will help you. That's my promise to you. Choice number one is to get in the right room. Get in the right room. Get in the what? Right room. That's right. Get in the right room. Now, here's what I do know. Proximity changes perspective. Now, there's an opportunity, I'm sure, to be in the right room with How to Heal Now. And I'm sure you can talk to Shelly and her team, and they have the right room if that's the right room for you. Because success is a team sport. Success is a what? Team sport. It takes a team. Now, you don't need any more motivation. You need no more Instagram. You need more YouTube. You got to get in the right room with the right folks at the right time. And it's my belief, if you do that, you're going to achieve whatever goal you wrote down. But you're not going to go back and do the same thing. You're going to make a decision. And then the second thing, is most important, is get the right mentor. Now you can talk to Ash Shelley. They're going to talk about mentors and folks that can help you along the way. Because here's what I know: speed follows those that execute. And there's two things that I pay for in my business as a CEO, and you're all CEOs. Number one, I pay for access. So when you have the right mentor, you now have access to tools and resources that you didn't have before. That's my promise. You'll be better off. How many believe that? Say yes. Okay, and the second thing I pay for is the first I pay for access, right? And the second thing I pay for is information. Now, it's not about what you know. Most folks are a lot smarter than me, but it's about how you execute what you know. Dr. Tell you know, it's less is more. Less is more. So some of you, it's not about doing more and more and more. It's about doing less consistently and better. Why is that, Shay? Say, Shay, why? Because systems beat goals every single time. Jot that down in your notes. Systems beat goals every single time. Because systems are duplicatable, systems are repeatable, and systems are something you can give to someone else, because the answer to who don't have to be you. That's why you want to be in the right room. That's why you want to have the right mentor. You do those two things. And it's my belief, when we see you later on down the road, that I believe for every single one of you, if you implement just one idea, because how many ideas do you need to change your life anyway? One. Here's why. One, put this in your notes. One good idea implemented is better than 1,000 ideas you know right now. So now you're in the right room. You get one idea. You're part of a team, because success is a team sport. And then finally, you got access to everything you need. And here's what we do know. You can ask Shelly and her team, and they got everything you need. With that being said, my name is Shay Brown. I believe for every single one of you, your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is what? Yet to come. Your best is what? Yet to come. Your best is what? Stand to your feet. Stand to your feet. Stand to your feet. On count of three. Like this on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. My best is yet to come. A little louder. My best is yet to come. One last time. My what?
Best is yet to
Go
come.
sit down. I believe all of you. I believe your best is still yet to come. Peace. I'm out.
God bless you. Oh God, I love that man's energy. Whenever I go to be president of the United States, he's gonna be my hype man. Now, before we bring out to someone that's represent our sponsors here, I just want to just piggyback on what Shay was saying. And if you guys have ever heard this phrase before, you definitely, Dr. Saleta, may have heard this. It says, "Step where I step, go where I go, and you'll get through this." Step where I step, and go where I go, and you'll get through this. Now, there's a variation of that, and that's coined from Vietnam. Different country, unknown land, going through the fields, the rice paddies, and there's a trained specialist to know exactly where to step to not hit a landmine, so that way the whole platoon can survive. So step where I step, it's safe right here. Go where I go, and you'll be okay. So when you're talking about mentorship, it's not about having someone do the work for you, do the walking for you. It's just being led, being guided to your own path, along your own path. All right. So as we wrap up here, make sure you do talk to the vendors, talk to the sponsor facilitators to see where we can help you step, go you go, so you all survive. All right. Now, bring up here, we're going to have our beautiful, lovely Dawn Lott to share a little bit more about the sponsors, what their reason for participating with us today, and your magic. Gotta bring it forward. Sorry.
Okay, let's give it up for Brian. He's doing a fabulous job. Okay, so as he said, good evening, everyone. My name is Dawn Lott, and I bring you greetings on behalf of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Rho Omega Zeta chapter, one of the sponsoring organizations of this fabulous conference. First, I would like to just honor our 5 pearls who founded this organization on January 16th, 1920, and who founded the organization on the principles of scholarship, service, sisterhood, and finer womanhood. I also acknowledge our phenomenal leadership, our international president and CEO, Dr. Stacy N.C. Grant, and I acknowledge our Atlantic Region Director, the Honorable Beverly S. Tatham, and our New York State Director, Wilhelmine Harrod James, as well as our brothers of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity and all of the Divine Nine. But I will say thank you. Thank you. We extend our sincere gratitude and our thanks to all of our sponsors, those who made this possible. You'll see we have a list of our sponsors here, and you'll hear more about them, but let's give them a round of applause as well, because without them, it would not be possible. We also just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And this conference has been about healing. And so what we want to leave with you and to say to you is that you are not broken, you are not alone, and your healing is your birthright. So again, we thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we thank you for supporting us. And now I am going to turn this over to one of our additional sponsoring organizations, I was going to elevate us to the honorable. I looked over there, and I don't know if that was prophetic or whatever, but Andrea Deloney.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you as well. I am so proud and grateful to stand up here as a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Rho Omega Zeta chapter, but also the president and founder of Level Up Coaching and Consulting. What I will say is, thank you. 3 years ago is when I first met Shelly Fanfan and when I learned about the Teach Me How to Heal conference. And I came on board as a sponsor to support with graphic design and anything that the planning committee needed to do behind the scenes. Fast forward, I am now a partner on this conference. And I share this very quickly because at the time, this experience in 2024 literally saved my life. I had just gotten out of an abusive relationship. I had never experienced anything like that in my life. And little did I know that in April, May of 2024, that I would find the community that I was in need of to get out of that experience and to be here today in the healthiest relationship I probably have ever been in my life. So I share that to say that you all came into this weekend with something heavy, light, whether you shared it or chose to keep it to yourself. But my prayer and the desire of my heart is that you found community, that you created new community for yourself, and that most importantly, that when you leave this conference, you'll continue to nurture that community and know that your girl is now a part of your community. So let me hear you say, level up.
Level up.
Thank you all so much. And at this time, I will introduce one of the board members for one of our final partnering organizations on this year's Teach Me How to Heal New York edition, Dr. Gretchen Cotton Rodney from Sankofa Works, Inc.
It's wonderful. I am here to represent Sankofa Works. It is a 501c3 organization that is here to serve this community, to make sure that the culture, the community is supported, is elevated, is educated. And we thank you all for trusting us with this experience today. I am not a one-woman show. This is the love child, the brainchild of the Honorable, we can use the Honorable now, where's Dawn? Valerie Cartwright Bernardin. Let's give her a hand. Our president is Ms. Tanya Bakken. And the creative director extraordinaire, Ms. You ready, Zinni? Zinni Odome. Go ahead, take your bow. And these women bring grace, they bring power, they bring courage, and they bring community. And hopefully they bring you back for our next Teach Me How to Heal conference here in New York. Have a great night.
All right. Yes. I am going to ask you to stand directly across from someone you may or may not know. That means that you're partnering with one other person directly across from them, within their line of sight, within their eye gaze. And be okay with discomfort here. Now, before we go into these very last moments that we're going to share with one another for today, I want to address something very, very quickly. In case there was anyone that experienced any type of confusion with two different perspectives that were presented today, I want to address that directly. Understand that this healing journey may never look the same for two people. In this work that I have done, I have seen medications change people's lives. And I have also seen it where very clearly medication was not necessary. Medication may be a part of one person's journey and not the other. And that is okay. You have the personal responsibility to find what journey works for you. Please look into the eyes of the person that you're standing across from. You can hold both hands or just one hand like you're shaking hands. And you don't have to, even the shaking of the hand sometimes is just nervous energy. Just be still. Look directly in the eyes of the person. Be still and be silent. Avoid the urge to break this silence. Be present in this moment. Allowing your eye contact to communicate, I'm here. I'm with you in this space. I am not only at this moment, I am in this moment. As I share these next few affirmation-like statements, if this is something that, if I say anything that you desire to be true for you, or if I say anything that is true for you, I'd like for you to just squeeze that person's hand. Look at you. Look at you responding and not reacting. Look at you not dignifying that person's insult with a response. Look at you not pressing send on that low vibrational text message. Look at you setting boundaries. Look at you taking personal responsibility for your healing. Look at you doing it afraid. Look at you communicating your needs. Look at you leaving that toxic situation. Look at you tolerating discomfort. Look at you enrolling in therapy. Look at you forgiving those who hurt you. Look at you keeping promises you made to yourself. Look at you launching that business. Look at you finishing what you started. Look at you writing the book. Look at you eating differently. Look at you spending differently. Look at you caring for yourself. Look at you taking time off. Look at you relaxing. Look at you sharing your truth. Look at you getting a coach. Look at you giving yourself self-care. Look at you rewarding yourself. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Now look up here at me. For every negative thought that comes up for you, what if the opposite were true? For every consuming thought, I speak authority over you. And for every ounce of self-doubt, I speak the willingness to bet on yourself. Allow what you do in the next 24 hours. Allow it to evidence that you are ready to do life differently, because that is what brings about different and elevated outcomes in your life. Thank you for trusting us with your emotional health. And now the responsibility is shifted back onto you. Thank you, and God bless you.